It's hot outside. It's raining. I'm feeling a little hungry. Oh, I just had lunch. Let me take a quick nap. Just a few messages from my friends. One more game. It's dinner time already? One episode of my favorite Netflix show. And tomorrow, I'm going to complete the entire chapter. Tomorrow is usually the busiest day on our calendars. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things. Einstein's approach to laziness, 3 simple hacks for you to end laziness, 1 easy formula for you to beat laziness. Because 1 year from now, you're going to wish that you started today. So let's get going. Hey everyone, this is Chetna and you're watching ChetChat. And before we begin talking about how to study without feeling lazy, I want to thank each one of you to help us reach this milestone of 1 million subscribers. Lots and lots of love and gratitude for the support that I've got from each one of you. And guess what came in the mail today? Now we have to find a cure for your laziness. What if I told you that you could just sit in your balcony on a chair and sip a cup of coffee and be productive? No way, you're going to say. You know, when Albert was in college, his teachers dismissed him as a lazy student. He used to frequently skip classes and would just be playing the violin on friends' cocktail parties and birthdays. At the age of 21, Einstein almost gave up his dream of becoming a physicist when he was rejected for the job of a lab assistant, and instead he had to work as a clerk in a Swiss patent firm. A couple of years later, he was able to submit 4 papers back to back that changed the way the world looked at physics. How did all that happen? I'm sure you're thinking that he spent many hours studying and working and trying to cram everything into those last few years. But what if I told you that that was not the case? Einstein had this habit of spending significant amounts of time away from his family, friends, and even his work. And he would often go off into the forest and stay in these cabins in the mountains and play his violin. Doing nothing should not be seen as laziness. We need to spend a little bit of time every single day in solitude, without our phones, without our friends, no music, no books, no sound. Just us and preferably nature. This is the time for you to reflect. Reflect on your priorities, maybe reflect on what you studied yesterday, reflect even on your music lesson, but just spend time in solitude and you will find the results to be startling. Productivity is not about getting a lot of things done. It's about getting the right things done in the least amount of time. And before we move on to the 3 hacks that are going to help you end your laziness, put down your favorite technique in the comment section below on how you beat laziness. Hack number 1, the 15-minute rule. Now before you sit down to study, set your alarm for 15 minutes. And when the timer goes off, you can choose to close your books. I've tried this often and it becomes like a game. It motivates you to sit down for the next session, and at the end of 15 minutes, you're trying to beat your own record of exceeding that 15 minutes. Hack number 2 is co-partner. Plan some activity. It could be studying a chapter or a project or an assignment. Plan it with a friend. Now the monkey mind doesn't let us work, but the monkey is also a social monkey. So when you work with a friend, almost 100% of the time, the monkey lets you work. I've tried this and believe me, the amount of productivity that I get in that one session beats 2-3 hours of studying alone. The trick here is to choose the right partner. And hack number 3 is called don't break the chain. It's also called the calendar trick. Actor and comedian Jerry Seinfeld uses this to motivate himself to write. Now, every day that he completes his schedule and work, he puts a cross on the calendar, and he puts up the calendar prominently on a wall. And soon he starts seeing the cross patterns on every single day. And you don't want to break that pattern, and you'll find just being able to put that cross on the wall will motivate you to work that day. So laziness and procrastination are like credit cards. They're great fun to use till you get the bill. And by the way, also drop a comment for me under this video telling me which of these 3 hacks was your favorite. And if you have any other special technique to help you become more productive at work, tell me about that as well. And now for the simple formula to help you end your laziness. Right food plus right time plus motivation minus distraction is equal to end of laziness. Let's talk about right food first. A new study has found that eating junk food not only makes us fat, but it also makes us mentally slow and less motivated. Now, I have found this, that the day I eat a protein-rich food as against a carb-heavy food, I am much more productive and I have much more energy and I feel less tired as well. So try to maybe even get that one protein shake, but eat everything in balance and slightly reduce your carbs. In the beginning, it seems a little difficult, but by the end of it, the results are worth it. Tip number 2, light and early dinner. All good diets seem to begin and end at dinner. So have a light, nourishing, well-balanced meal and have it a little early in the evening. And after that, go and shut your kitchen door physically. And if you can put a lock on your fridge, do that. And tip number 3 within food is hydration. Drink about 5 liters of water if you can during the day, and drink most of it in the first half of the day. Now give me your favorite food tip as a comment under this video, and we also have another video on how to build your immunity, and I'm going to drop a link for you under this one. The second part of the formula was right time. There is a serious correlation between time and study, and there are 3 quick tips that I have for you here under the category of time. The first is the rule of 2:1. This is a golden thumb rule. The ideal is study for half an hour and take a 15-minute break. Basically, whatever time you study, take half of that as a break. The second tip is golden hours. Now, each of us is different. Some of us are more productive in the morning, some of us work better in the night, but you know best what are your golden hours, and try to catch at least 1 hour of work during that golden period. And the third tip is to reboot your brain. If you want your brain to work productively, activated and motivated throughout the day, you need to give it rest to recharge and reboot once every day. This could be in the form of meditation, exercise, or even that period of time when you sit down to reflect and think. And remember the biggest rule of time: if you have a mountain to climb, it doesn't get any shorter by waiting. So start climbing now. Motivation, the third part of our formula. Sleep with a vision, wake up with a mission, and work without intermission. Now, before going to bed, if you can plan something or have a vision of something that you want to accomplish the next day, you will wake up with a mission, and that will motivate you through the day. Find your own mojo, and there will never be a dull day after that. And have no fear. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to climb one step at a time. And finally, distractions, the favorite topic of all of us. It's a bit like Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Every time you sit down to study, almost equally you get distracted and you don't feel like studying. The only thing that you have to do is to recognize it and control it. Now, I'm putting a link here for a very detailed video that we've done on how to focus and concentrate, so I don't want to take up that time and repeat any of that in this video. But dealing with distraction could be the key to success in your life. And thank you so much for watching right till the end, and a big thanks once again for supporting me through this journey, and watch out for our videos every Friday. Meantime, please press the subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it, and also give us a thumbs up, and happy watching.